Before we get started, I'd like to introduce the two new members to the Board of Selectmen. On my right is Ellen Bagley. And on my left, three chairs over, Michael Snyder. Give them a hand of applause. The first business we have for the new board is reorganization. So do we have a motion?
I make a motion for Walter Cruz to be chairman of the board. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimous. Now we need a motion for clerk.
I make a motion for Steve Cruz to be clerk.
Steve
Cruz? Steve, sorry.
Thank you, brother.
Mike seconded.
Mike seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, that was the first motion for the business. Now we have everybody set. Mark Andrews will take over now because we're going to go over the budget or the articles.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to you and to Steve and the entire board. Just wanted to keep the board updated, and there were questions earlier at an earlier meeting, but we are forging ahead with respect to the money articles on both the special town meeting and the annual town meeting. And I would urge, if we could, to move forward with transfer of $51,500. I'm on the special town meeting warrant article number 2. I urge support and consideration for this, as once again we are moving forward with not only settling our collective bargaining agreements but funding them, and I would urge your consideration and vote this evening to endorse article number 2.
Any discussion? Do I hear a motion? Yes, it's so moved.
Can you hear this?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, I move favorable action on Article 2 for the EMT Association union contract.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Article number 5, special town meeting warrant, Article 5. I urge your consideration, as this is an emergency matter that was approved by the Mass Department of Revenue and the Division of Capital Asset Management at the state level to move forward with this emergency repair and replacement, and that project is winding down. I would urge your favorable consideration for Article number 5.
Mr. Chairman, through you to Mr. Andrews, what was the total cost of that project when we discussed it was much less than $200,000. What is the actual number now?
Mr. Chairman, we are finishing up the project, and as of this afternoon with Mr. Chairman, we did a site inspection. I'll be getting that number. It will be below the $200,000 that has been set aside for the transfer, and also additional work was done with respect to the railings in and around the onset stone bridge, or I should say at each end of the onset stone bridge, and I can get that information for you as soon as it's made available to me.
Because I believe that all of that cost was in the contract.
That's correct.
And I thought it was like 136.
It's going to come in lower. You are right, Steve. It's going to come in lower. Mr. Clerk, excuse me.
So you're going to update this number at the town meeting?
That's correct.
So we have the appropriate...
You are correct.
All right, I move favorable action on Article 5 on the emergency sewer repair and onset. Second. Mike?
Motion made and second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? 500.
I
Mr.
should note, Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee voted 700 on that one.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Do the CBA. I am informed by Mr. Campiner that we are on budget on this item, so we will, it's at 136,650 at this particular time.
What was that figure again?
$136,650.
And if you live anywhere in Onset, go over the bridge and take a look at it. It doesn't have the sidewalk on it, but you can look at it from both ends. They did a beautiful job. The town administrator and myself was over there this afternoon just checking it out. At least you can see where your money went for now.
Mr. Chairman, through you, make favorable recommendation on behalf of the administration on Articles 8 through 13. These are the six collective bargaining agreement placeholders that we have for hopefully anticipated final negotiations, if you will. And this was the same method that we used to have placeholders for collective bargaining agreements that we have settled to date, which amount to 5 out of 11 collective bargaining agreements. And I am informed by council that they're placeholders. We can take them as one group, if you will. So Article 8 through 13, I would urge your favorable consideration and action relative to having these articles ready when and if the collective bargaining agreements are completed. And as you know, there still is a process to go forward to insert the funds and take it through the next process, which would be at the fall town meeting.
Mr. Chair, I move favorable action on Articles 8 through 13 and approve as placeholders for collective bargaining.
Second.
Mr. Chairman, the last item of business that I have, I'm sorry,
Hang on.
I apologize.
I think someone wants to get out of here. Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
500. Now, Mr. Andrews.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wanted to update the board on a draft pending your review and approval, consideration and approval, I should say, of a budget reduction and realignment plan that keeps us within the appropriation level that we have been working with, but align some resources with the school district, which we've been working very hard with to get some agreement with. If I could ask the board to review this one-page summary. I'll give you a little bit of a background to it. The first set, or the first section, is a set of assumptions that are important to coming through with a balanced budget. And you can see that they involve setting the April town meeting net school spending amount of $25,055,837, and coming up with a October meeting adjustment that we made, given that there was a reduction in Chapter 78 to the school district. And then further, that brought it down to $24,233,837. And then working with recommendations that we started with and have put in place, the town administrator recommendation for the budget at $24,397,610, and then bringing our net school spending up to 27, or actually we're having the $27,091,413, so that the shortfall starting out of the box, if you will, really amounted to $2,693,803. How do you bridge this gap? And so it's been a very intensive process by which we've looked at what the school district could put in. So the next box, how to bridge the gap, Part 1, are items that the school district have assented to through the superintendent for a grand total of $620,000, bringing forward the so-called school request shortfall of $2,693,803, and removing, if you will, the 620 from that amount. Also, I've decided to recommend that the police department defibrillators go into the capital budget. I informed the capital planning committee of that fact this morning. So at this particular time, I am removing from the town administrator's submission $41,314 to bring the shortfall request down to $2,032,489. And then the next box, there is a section that we needed to see what the independent auditors had provided us with for a balance on the healthcare trust fund. That is certified by the town independent auditors of Powers and Sullivan. You have before you a plan to provide for a 4-week health premium holiday, and then an additional 2-week health premium holiday. And what this pretty much does is it allows employees to take 1 month off of their payment into the health plan, the health care trust fund, and it'll allow the town to take 1 month off and then an additional 2 weeks from that. And the numbers that are aligned, the savings per employee in the school district, if you will, for the 4 weeks is $634,580. And the second part of the plan, an additional 2 weeks per the auditors, $317,290 is the amount that would come from this healthcare premium holiday. I've been in touch with the chief counsel at the Mass Department of Revenue and working with them and our independent auditors. They have recommended, I should say the auditors have recommended up to the 6-week period. And it's a one-time bridge between what is in the healthcare trust fund, which is a healthy trust fund, and what the town can provide per employees in the school district. So that gets you up to about $960,000 off of that part of the plan. This was also discussed in the past. We didn't have a healthy balance at that particular time. We do now, and I'm making this recommendation per the auditor's final report for the healthcare trust fund. The next item on how to bridge the gap, number 2, is to take a 5% expenditure reduction of non-personnel expenses across the board on the school district side as well as the town side, notwithstanding certain types of fixed costs like debt service, audit services, snow and ice, the town meeting fees, lights, veteran services. So we took all of our fixed costs out, and I have now asked each department to come up with an additional 5% off of non-personnel expenses that will infuse an additional $300,119 into the plan. And further on bridging number 2, I'm informed by the school superintendent that either open positions or positions that can be consolidated or realigned within the school district would give us an additional $420,500. So if you add up the health care premium holiday, the 5% reduction of non-personnel expenses across the board, personnel cuts within the school district, you come up with $1,672,489. So if you take that against the original school request of $2,032,489, the remaining balance to be made up is $360,000, and the superintendent has informed me that he has begun or will begin negotiations with the teachers union to come up with that remaining balance of $360,000 through various methods within the collective bargaining agreement with the teachers. It must be negotiated. That's a footnote. That remaining balance gap brings us to a zero balance and agreement between the school side and the town side of our budget for fiscal 2012. I'm just bringing this to your attention this evening as a recommendation from the town administrator. I'm not looking for a particular action on this. Just like you to understand that this is the byproduct of many meetings with the school superintendent and the budget review committee that began to start up this process to get to zero balance and to come up with an agreement between the school district and the town administration. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Town Administrator. Are there any questions from the board?
You said you didn't want comments.
No, I'm happy
You
to.
didn't want
No, he
comments
said he
today.
would. He said he can ask any questions.
I don't need a vote, Steve, is what I'm saying.
So, and there's a meeting on Monday where this is
You
going
are
to be
correct.
discussed?
You are correct.
I'll hold my comments till then, I guess.
Okay. Is there anything else on the agenda, Mr. Town?
Mr. Chairman, that concludes my administration report this evening.
Any other town business from the board? We're all done.
All set.
We're all done.
We can go through them quick, but Mr. Chairman, we got to vote on the one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do we need to I'm sorry.
Sorry?
We only went to the special warrant? So we're going through the
Mr.
town.
Chairman,
Right.
excuse me.
Yeah, we need to record the votes of the board.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I apologize. I went through the financial stuff. On the town, if I could, Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Town Administrator.
on the spring town meeting annual warrant, items 1, 2, 3, Articles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are housekeeping articles, and I'm happy to go through them now and record votes of the board. Article 1 involves setting the following offices, 2 Board of Selectmen members for a term of 3 years, 2 assessors for a term of 3 years, 2 school committee members for a term of 3 years, 1 constable for a term of 3 years, and 1 deputy town moderator for a term of 1 year, or to do or to act in any manner relative thereto. I recommend passage of Article Number 1.
FinCom vote was favorable action 800. I make a motion favorable action of the Board of Selectmen. Article 1.
All in favor?
Mr. Chairman, Article Number 2, to see if the town will vote. I'm sorry.
Vote.
Aye.
Motion made and second. All in favor? All abstained? 500.
We just went through these. Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we waive the reading and go through the articles. If anybody has a question, we can reread it.
That's fine.
So moved. Go ahead.
Second.
All in favor?
We got to vote on it.
Yeah, we got it.
Aye.
500.
Article number 2, contract applications. In favor, Finance Committee voted favorable action 800. I move favorable action, Board of Selectmen.
Should we do the other?
All,
Gareth?
motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 500.
Article number 3, Mr. Chairman, was voted favorable action 800 by the Finance Committee to authorize the treasurer collector to do the compensating balance agreement. Move favorable action, Board of Selectmen.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Article 4, reports to town meeting. Finance Committee voted 800 favorable action. I move favorable action of the Board of Selectmen.
I should read the motion.
Motion made and second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
500.
Article number 5, Finance Committee voted favorable action, 800. And this is on to see if the town will vote to fix the compensation and salary of the following elected officials: town clerk and town moderator, and any other elected officers of the town. Move favorable action, Board of Selectmen.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
500.
This is Article 6.
Mr. Chairman, if I could,
Go ahead.
Mr. Clerk.
Excuse me one.
I recommend that we move to Article 18 as the numbers between 5 and 18 are being held.
Local option real estate tax. Okay, so there'll be no vote of the Board of Selectmen, or at such time we can do an amended vote during our meeting and submit it as amendment, as an addendum at town meeting. Correct?
Yes.
Now, if you need a motion,
So do that.
18 through 22. Yep, and then 37 through 20.
okay, we're skipping to Article 18, which was voted favorable action by the Finance Committee 520. Article 18 is to see if the town will vote to accept provisions of Mass General Law authorizing the imposition of a local meals tax. Again, the Finance Committee vote was 520. Move favorable action, Board of Selectmen. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Votes?
All opposed?
Aye. Yeah, move them all in favorable action.
Mike?
Mike opposed.
Aye. So we got 05. Alan?
050.
Just a note, Mr. Chairman, I'm moving all these favorable action, and that way we match the same votes as the
Of the Finance Committee.
We're talking about
as opposed to voting no further action and then causing some confusion. Article 19 is to see if the town will amend the amount of local excise imported under GL at room rentals and hotels to the amount of 6%. The Finance Committee voted favorable action 511. Move the Board of Selectmen favorable action, Article 19. Winslow.
Motion made and second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
What is the count is?
I got two up, 3 down.
And abstain.
2-2. 2-2-1.
221.
Okay, Article 20. Article 20 is to rescind the passport revolving fund. The Finance Committee voted favorable action 801. And that's to see if the town will rescind the use of the revolving fund account under Article 18, April 26th annual town meeting for the purpose of passport supplies, equipment, postage, and related. This is submitted on request of the town clerk. Move favorable action, Board of Selectmen.
Motion made and second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? 500.
Article 20.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, could Mr. Holmes put a microphone in front of him so we can hear him, please?
Oh, you really want to hear me? I'm sorry. I always get accused you can't hear me because I'm sitting back. I'm leaning forward, you still can't hear me. Okay. Article 21, Mr. Chair, is the amendment bylaw about barking and howling nuisances. The Finance Committee voted 2, 3, and 2 abstained. Move favorable action, Board of Selectmen.
Second out of necessity.
Right.
Motion made and second. All in favor? All opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Abstain?
Abstain, I have to abstain.
041. Is that right?
Yeah, 041.
Did Ellen abstain? 'Cause one abstained. Oh, Mike abstained too.
Oh, okay. Is it 041? Did I get it right?
32.
Two abstain.
0032.
I'll make sure I get it right. Okay, number 22. I got 032 on that last one.
Yes.
Article number 22 is the amendment, the amended bylaw for the police detail for citizens. The Finance Committee voted favorable action 700. Move favorable action, Board of Selectmen.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, I would recommend that the articles up until Article 37 are held.
Can we,
I'm sorry.
excuse me,
Excuse me,
Mr.
I haven't
Andrews,
given the
can
count
we finish
yet.
the vote,
I'm sorry.
please?
Okay, Article 22 is 500.
Is it?
I'm a yes. That was a 500.
Thank you.
You have better years than I have. Now, Mr. Andrews?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend that the articles from 22 through 37 be held, and that we begin on Article 37.
Said begin on Article 37?
That's correct.
Mr. Chair, did he say 22 or 23?
Excuse me, 23 through 37.
Hold
From 22 up.
through 37, hold. Okay, Article 38 is the petition.
Excuse me, Mr.
Wait,
Chairman.
It's Article 37. 37, right?
He said through 37. So I'm on 38 now.
No, 37.
37.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Misunderstanding.
So he said 36.
Yeah,
Mr.
And
Chair,
we're going to start on 37.
would the town administrator repeat the articles on hold? 22 or 23?
23 through 36.
36.
36.
Okay, Article number 37 is the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, conveyance of land. Finance Committee voted favorable action 090.
Mr. Chair, is there someone that can explain?
What is it, Mike? Okay, favorable action.
Can we just go next? I don't know, I don't understand this.
I'll second for discussion.
Motion made and second for discussion.
That was the treasurer.
We can't either.
Yeah, the acoustics are tough in here. Can everybody hear me? What this article is, this is an attempt by the Affordable Housing Trust to accomplish two things. Well, actually three things. Number one, to look at some of the tax title properties that have larger outstanding amounts due to the town, and for the town treasurer to be able to collect on some of those delinquent tax revenues. At the same time, trying to bring in additional revenue to the town through the sale of some of these parcels and the development of them for affordable housing.
Mr. Chairman, just for what it's worth, the town administrator urges favorable action.
We didn't ask.
What did he say?
You haven't voted.
I'm not going to vote.
What did you recommend?
I urge your favorable consideration.
Can I just ask a question? Thank you. We'll pass the mic back and forth.
Is there any other questions from Mr. Snyder?
Mr. Chair, may I?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Wilson. Winslow.
Thank you. If we convey the properties to the Affordable Housing Trust, is it the trust that will sell the properties, or will the trust pay the outstanding tax lien on the property? How does the revenue piece work?
What will happen is the Affordable Housing Trust will pay the outstanding tax liens on the property. And
Mike.
actually,
Can you speak a little?
will pay the outstanding tax liens on the property. In exchange, this article will likely be amended on the floor to change the term convey to in the care and custody of the Affordable Housing Trust and remove the term convey, so that we'll, in essence, manage it until we can develop it.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions from the board? If not, we're going to move the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? 5-0-0.
All right. Mr. Chair, Article 38 is on the position of the appointment of the Director of Assessment. The FinCom voted favorable action 4-5-0. In Article 38, changes some language in the charter. Prior to the appointment of the Director of Assessment, the position will be properly posted in Town Hall, trade publications, websites, and the local media. The posting will occur no later than 30 days after the vacancy of a position. An interviewing committee shall be formed, which will consist of a minimum of 3 members, at least 1 member of the Board of Assessors, and the remaining members shall be determined by the hiring authority. These additional members will have knowledge of the position and qualifications needed to be filled. This article is inserted by Mr. Curry, Stephen Curry et al. Move favorable action. Board of Selectmen.
Second.
Motion made in second. Any discussion?
Second for discussion.
I was going to say, any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, through you to the Town Administrator, how does this differ from the current policy of the town, this article?
Mr. Chairman, through you, I believe it codifies what we've already done in this past round of filling the Director of Assessment position. I would not be opposed to it because we pretty much, in fact, we had a committee of more than 3 members. I believe it was 6 members. So that's pretty much where things stand.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? If not, I'll put the motion to the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstain? 5-0-0.
Mr. Chairman, we have Article 39, which is the petition to amend the anti-noise regulations. The Finance Committee voted favorable action 5-1-1. Move favorable action. Board of Selectmen.
Motion made in second. Any discussion? If not, we'll move the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 4-1-0.
So that's right, too. 4-1-0. Article number 40 is the petition to repeal Article 5, Section, no, I'm sorry, scratch that, down one. Article 40 is the position to accept the layout at Rockmarsh Road. The Finance Committee voted favorable action 072. I think I'll read this one if it's all right with you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
Article 40 is to see if the town will accept a vote the layout of Rockmarsh Road as approved by the Board of Selectmen on October 19, 2010, and presented to the Wareham Town Clerk on October 20th, 2010, as a public way, together with the adjoining drainage easements as shown on a plan entitled Site Plan Phase 5 for Rock Marsh Village, Wareham, Mass., prepared by Atlantic Design Engineers of Sandwich, dated December 4th, 2007, which was recorded in the Plymouth County Registry of Deeds in 2007, and to raise and appropriate or transfer a sum of money to complete the construction of the roadway or to enact an amendment thereto, inserted by Phil McClintock et al.
Discussion?
Motion made and second. Ready for any questions?
Through you, Mr. Chair, to
The
the
town
town administrator. Is this the
property that it's discussion of some type of betterment on?
Through you, Madam Chair, Mr. Chairman, excuse me. This matter and the group associated with it has been referred to the planning department as well as the treasurer collector's office to work out those details. However, they could work them out in advance on their own and produce the same result, if you will. So that's where things stand in terms of the article. I just want to state for the record that it is not proper or legal for the town to spend funds on a private way or to use Chapter 90 funds on private ways, and that's my opinion, and I'll stick to it.
So just to clarify,
Yes.
this is the property that they're, in order, because I question the way it's worded at the end, because the town is not going to raise or appropriate or transfer. The residents are going to pay some type of a betterment to cover the cost of the construction, correct?
Mr. Chairman, through you to Member Winslow, this is a petitioned article, and it's petitioned and written in the way that they wrote it. So I would agree with you totally that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So as written,
I'm sorry.
the way the article is written now, we can't actually do that.
That's a very accurate statement.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We'll move it, the motion. All in favor? All opposed?
Aye.
050.
Okay, Article 41 is a petition to repeal Article 5, Section 580, wind energy facilities. The Finance Committee voted a favorable action, 601. Move favorable action.
Motion made and second.
Karen?
Any-
Is that you, Mike? Mike?
Any questions? Discussion? If not,
Ready? For you to the town administrator, how would this article affect the current permitting process of the Bogwin project?
Mr. Chairman, if I can because it's more of a legal matter, the way it's written, I'm going to ask Attorney Bowen to make a remark.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chairman, to Selectman Winslow. It would depend on at what point in the process the applicant is in terms of getting its review. I'm a little hesitant because I don't know exactly where they are in the review, but let me offer a general statement. If generally, if somebody has a permit that's under consideration before a zoning bylaw changes, they are grandfathered from the change. In this case, even though it's characterized as a repeal of the wind energy facility bylaw, even repealing a zoning bylaw is a zoning change. And so if you're far enough along in the process before the the planning board has a hearing on it, gives notice of a hearing, then you're going to be grandfathered from any subsequent change. So if the applicant is far enough along, then even if this were repealed by town meeting, and assuming that the planning board had its hearing and issued its report, and assuming that there was a 2/3 vote to repeal this, the applicant would be grandfathered. But there are several caveats in that, but that's generally how it works.
Attorney Bowen.
Any other questions? If there are no other questions, we'll move the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Aye. Was that
Me.
two?
Wait, hold on.
I want to make sure I'm clear on the motion is what exactly?
Well, the motion is favorable action to repeal the old zoning law.
Mike is a yes, I'm a no.
Okay, 3-2.
4-1-0?
No, 3-2.
3-2-0.
3-2-0.
Thank you. And Article 42, Mr. Chair, is a petition article to repeal, to amend bylaws. Let me read this right. Petition, amend bylaws, nitrogen net zero for new construction. The Finance Committee voted favorable action 502. And I'll read it. It's very short with your indulgence.
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
Chair. Article 42 says, to see if the town will vote to amend the general bylaws of the town of Wareham by deleting in its entirety Division 6, Article 2, a nitrogen net zero for new construction, including all related subsections thereto.
Second.
Motion made,
I gotta
second.
make the motion for favorable.
Oh, sorry.
Any
I go too fast now, right,
questions or discussion?
Karen? Or did I give you the Finance Committee was 502?
No questions or discussion, we'll move the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstain?
320.
No? No?
Uh,
Hold on, let's go. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, 2.
I have that Article 42 at 3 affirmative, 2 negative, 0 abstinence. Right?
Did I understand?
Is that right?
I said
Mr.
no.
Chairman.
Oh,
Said no.
no. Walter?
2. 3-2.
Mr. Chairman, that appears to have completed all of the votes on those articles. I'll get these typed up and over the office. These have to be over to the town clerk. Is the town clerk still here? I believe I have to get them to her by Monday so they can publish them on Tuesday or Wednesday. Go to the public.
Any other business, the board?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made, and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations. See, that was a quick one. Less than an hour. Your first one. Less than
Yeah,
an
but
hour.
that's what Walter's on.